Tonight's studio turned into a political battlefield as Carol Malone confronted Labour Minister Sebastian Salah in a fiery, blistering showdown. The tension centered on Sir Keir Starmer's chaotic leadership and the rumors swirling around Angela Rayner's possible cabinet return. Accusations flew, voices rose, and the audience was left on edge, torn between shock and amusement. Every glance, every exasperated sigh hinted at deeper turmoil behind the headlines. By the final moments, the studio practically erupted with astonishment, leaving viewers desperate to uncover the full story. One thing was clear: this was not just another political debate. It was a spectacle.
Did you know over 95% of our viewers aren't subscribed? Subscribing is free and helps us create more great content. Hit subscribe now and join our community.
Into his leadership have now completely abandoned him. Look, I've been around political parties when I was in the Conservative Party that did regicide after regicide after regicide, killing off our own Prime Minister. This is exactly what it looks like.
What makes you think they've abandoned him?
Well, the fact that they are asking their members who they think would be best to replace him.
I've just explained why.
No, but well, you might have explained why, but and that's your vision of what.
No, it's not my vision.
But
I'm telling you, that's what they're doing.
They're asking about who would be the next Prime Minister.
Why do they even need to ask the question?
I've just explained it because you benchmark it to existing questions to match how well your model's performing.
But if he was safe and secure in his job, they don't even need to benchmark it, do they?
Well, of course they do.
Because how your model is performing, what on earth does that mean?
OK, so you put together a way of polling people. You have to test that way of polling people against what's already out there.
Talking to members?
Yes, and historically, that has not been very accurate. I'm sorry, this is really boring stuff, but it's important.
It doesn't make sense either.
Why not? What's unclear? I can clear it up, hopefully.
Because I'm stupid, yeah?
No, not at all. It's complicated stuff. I didn't understand it either until this morning.
When you talk about what you just talked about, no one watching this would understand what you're saying either, because you're talking about models and stuff.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's complicated stuff.
OK, but the bottom line is they're doing this because... Are you seriously saying that the Labour Party is happy with Keir Starmer's performance? Are you actually saying that that's what that's...
I'm just explaining to you what Labour Together is doing. Patrick asked me,
that is complete and utter. That's maybe why they say they're doing it. The only reason that they need to benchmark it, or even ask the question in the first place, is because he has been a complete and utter disaster. If he was safe and secure in his job, no one, Labour Together or anywhere else, would care about how you poll the Labour Party when it comes to replacing the leader.
You should poll the Labour Party on all sorts of things, because they are going to be bringing bill after bill, and we have to know how it stands with the party. We saw how that went down on welfare. It didn't go well, did it?
But they're not asking for people's view on welfare. That would be reasonable to benchmark.
You don't know that.
They're not asking for people's view on inheritance tax.
Great amounts of confidence.
They're asking for people's view on who they would like to replace Keir Starmer. The only reason you need to benchmark that is because you think it's very likely to happen. I'm sure you'd admit.
Benchmark what?
People's view on who they would like to replace the current Prime Minister.
So they're benchmarking the entire model, not just that specific question. The reason they're asking that question, and I'm sorry I'm repeating myself here, is because it's data that's already out there that you can then match it to.
The only thing I would say is that may be true. I don't know. I'm certainly not calling you a liar at all. I'm trying to think how any of us would feel and how I would feel personally if I found out that GB News...
Have you not?
Did you not know?
About who, yeah, you get the poll, you get the email you get about who would be best to replace Patrick Christie's 9 to 11 p.m. Monday to Friday. I think I'd see that. I'd be like, lads, is there anything I should be aware of? But anyway, well, look, we're part of that because one of the other aspects of this kind of basket of news that came out today, of course, is TikTok. He's going to be on TikTok. He's now got a new Substack as well. I fear, well, firstly, he can't be doing it himself. We know because, firstly, he's probably not got the time, but secondly, because he's not allowed to use TikTok on his own phone. So someone else who's not got a ministerial phone is going to have to be doing it. You do also need someone, I think, with a little bit of charisma to actually do quite well on TikTok, and I'm not sure he's necessarily...
He's the most wooden man in politics, and they're going to try and put him on a platform where wooden is going to kill him. It's supposed to be for him to connect with more people. It's going to do the polar opposite, because it's going to give him it's going to showcase him in a way that's going to make him look stupid. He can't even walk out of Downing Street without falling over the step. He missteps every day of the week, saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing, and this is just going to amplify everything that's bad about him.
Well, what do you think about this TikTok intervention? Is it just kind of flogging a dead horse here? Or
in principle, really good idea, right? You've got to move with the times. You've got to be where your voters voters are. Nigel Farage, for his credit, has been really good at this. He's built up a huge following, and it's right that Starmer's doing the same. You've got to put out content that's native to the platform, though. You've got to understand the platform. I know Labour have hired a lot of digital people recently. I just hope that they can create content that is going to resonate with people.
And give him a personality, which is going to be really difficult.
Well, one of the things that started for me, and obviously we did a show last week on Thursday from Merthyr Tydfil in Wales, a seat that's been Labour for basically 100 years. Keir Hardie's former seat, founder of the Labour Party, the bloke that apparently Keir Starmer was supposedly named after. One thing I was very surprised about there was because all the polling shows that at the moment that's going to go Reform, so we'll see what happens there. It's a long way off. However, we actually did tell the Labour Party that we were going there, we were going to do a show there, and we were going to do it from a specific social club, working man's club in the evening. And the Labour MP for the area is supposedly, well, we were told, is a member of that working man's club. And we gave him several weeks' notice that we were going to go and do that. And we were thinking that he would maybe turn up, or 20 of his mates from the area would, so that in this club, there would be a strong show of Labour backing. And none of them turned up, none of them. We couldn't really get hold of anyone who wanted to come. It culminated in me trying to find balance at the show, walking around a Wetherspoons in Merthyr Tydfil at one point in the day, just asking anyone there if you voted Labour. There was one bloke who interrupted his lunch and said, yeah, I'm going to vote Labour. I said, right, great, can you come outside and talk to me for a few minutes about why? And he said, yes, obviously we let him talk and he gave his reasons, etc. But that to me just looked like, if that is one of Labour's supposedly safest seats, why on earth would they not have been organised enough to have put someone or put people up to talk and even just plant members of the public in there that are Labour? I just thought that said quite a lot about the current kind of state of play.
Surely you must hear people every day. I mean, we hear people every day, lifelong Labour voters, who are saying they are so disappointed with this man, so gutted that they will never vote Labour again. This is people who voted Labour for 40, 50 years, and they're never going to do it again because of Keir Starmer.
I hear all sorts. People said the same about Blair, and it turned out pretty well for him in the end.
Do you not hear this about Starmer?
I hear all sorts.
So that's
I hear literally every permutation of a political opinion. I've heard it. I access Twitter like everyone else.
But Unite the Union is potentially talking about disaffiliating from the Labour Party. So some of their strongest supporters, the Labour Party was formed out of the trade union movement, some of their strongest supporters are thinking of withdrawing support because it's such a mess.
That's been a theme for years. Unite are always making those noises because it shores up their position.
Do you actually think Keir Starmer's good?
Of course I do.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I believe...
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Next UK, your go-to for real stories and sharp analysis.